couple of years have I gained the ability empathy. I just like can't help myself but
No way he said that.
like
Dang, I don't know nothing about this dude. I guess I don't even be watching his videos. I thought I watched this video. Did he really just admit that he only learned empathy within the past 2 or 3 years? Dear Gandhi in heaven, pray for this man.
From the fact that Creator Clash's individual creators actually didn't do a whole lot of promotion. We also
Oh yeah, this is so true. They told me not to promote the event.
Yeah, that's actually such a good point. It acts
Did you okay, so say what you want about Chris Ray Gun, but he almost knocked me the out right there, okay?
actually believe that you weren't
Woo!
talking shit.
Okay, whoever got these highlights, you notice I never post these highlights on my page. I'm not gonna lie, Chris Ray Gun was piecing me up in this part.
Now, something about fighting promotion and the community that watches these events is that it always centers around some form of drama or conflict.
I was actually a part of this situation that he's talking about, and he's got it spot on. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay,
Yeah, and just like my thing about it. So Ian and Anissa made this big deal about we don't want any trash talking, we don't want any negativity to be a part of our event. And yet,
Young people, I love you.
What's your biggest issue with minorities right now?
None.
none. So that's our answer. At the end of the day, it's about intensity, coming in, going in, moving out. That's the type of fight it needs to be. Welcome back to another episode of Truly Passionate. I'm your host, William Haynes. Please leave a like on me and subscribe to me. So, my interns are telling me that once again, I'm being named on the internet in one of these takedown videos. This guy, Some Ordinary Gamer, has an hour and 19-minute long video about Creator Clash. Now, y'all know me. I ain't about to watch all that. We about to find the part where he talk about me. I'm gonna go off on bruh, and then we'll have a Coke and a smile, you know what I'm saying? Listen, and I know I have to say this every single time. If you're gonna talk about me on your show, you better have your facts correct. Because for a comedian, I don't find nothing funny. I don't see no laughs and no ha-has and nothing. So if you're gonna talk about me and my training regimen, you better have the facts 100% correct. It's crazy when dudes who never trained before in their life all of a sudden know everything about boxing. No, I actually really like this guy a lot. I actually watch Some Ordinary Gamer all the time. What I love about Some Ordinary Gamer is that he has his facts straight. I'm just saying, you better know what you're saying and say what you be knowing, because I've been making videos professionally since you was working at Best Buy. I'm telling you, I watch this guy's content. That's a great job. You have to know your stuff to work at Best Buy. You can't work at Best Buy and lie on the resume and don't really know the specifics about stuff, because you will be found out immediately. I'm always impressed when the dudes at Best Buy know about cameras and stuff and you work in the computer department. I'm like, wow, you know about lenses? Anyway, so I'm just saying Some Ordinary Gamer is a good YouTuber. He does his thing. So shout out to him. This is a terrible thumbnail. Like, I might have to do a video where I make a better thumbnail for this video, which is crazy.
yo, 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 what up? Well, that is the BIOS of one of the biggest commentary channels, one of the biggest police officers on YouTube. Some of you may know him as iDubbbz. I know him as
That's what's so crazy about this entire situation. I forget that. I was not a fan of iDubbbz. I did not know about iDubbbz until I met iDubbbz. I mean, I knew of him, but I know so many people are like, oh, I used to watch Content Cop. I used to do this. I got too much melanin. I don't know nothing about that program. So, but I do know about the YouTube commentary industry and what it became, in the years after him. So it's crazy that iDubbbz was one of the biggest ones, one of the pioneers of it, and he just don't do that no more.
Ian. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, he's done a pretty good job back in the day of going after some of those problematic creators on YouTube.
Like who?
He is here.
Oh.
Algio.
Oh.
Most importantly, that React channel epidemic. But in amongst all of that, he did things like Kickstarter craps. He looked at shitty projects people made. Who went above and beyond the Call of
He's already taught me stuff I didn't know. I knew about the Tana Montague situation, though.
Duty when it came to being a police officer. He even did bad unboxings. Now, he was at a time one of the best police officers, and I would say recently his conduct has been a little bit unbecoming, which is entirely what internal affairs is all about. We're here to check in on what's been going on with Officer Idip's. Now, since Ian has actually left the police force, he
He's definitely left the police force, the YouTube police force. I don't see him as that at all whatsoever.
decided to mature. Instead of fusing two slurs together, he's making interesting documentaries. He's over-explaining his support of OnlyFans, and of course, one of my personal favorites is as an officer.
I'm gonna have to back iDubbbz up on the fans only thing. I get it. There are so many things wrong with fans only. Like, I'll say the number one wrong thing with fans only is that the moment people turn 18, they're jumping on that program. It's like, don't you want to give yourself a couple of years of trying to do something else? So that is like the main thing I have as an issue with fans only. But other than that, let people do it. Let people do what they want. You guys know I'm Starfleet. I have a very liberal version of the future in my head. And I believe that people should be able to do, as long as you're not hurting other people or hurting yourself, you should be able to do whatever you want. And I think the main dudes that be mad at the fans only girls are just mad because they like, I want to get money, but nobody want to pay these you. So, cause best believe if you could make a whole bunch of money not doing shit, you would. So, but it's the same thing with like the crypto bros. Like, I don't understand what they're doing, so I'm mad at them. Uh, if I knew how to make money off crypto, I probably wouldn't be mad at them. I'd be like, everybody should be able to do this. So I'm backing up iDubbbz on that. I'm just saying y'all are mad that the fans only girls don't mess with y'all. So
Of the force, discovering empathy at the ripe, young, tender age of 31.
I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy. I just like can't help myself, but
no way he said that.
like
Dang, I don't know nothing about this dude. I guess I don't even be watching his videos. I thought I watched this video. Did he really just admit that he only learned empathy within the past 2 or 3 years? Dear Gandhi in heaven, pray for this man.
for other people's pain and suffering.
iDubbbz, safe to
Huh? You okay, I'm learning so much.
say, doesn't actually have the same rapport with the former community, the commentary community, and has for the last few years been ingratiating themselves towards these.
Something that the internet has a hard time dealing with anybody, even with people like me, is that people change. Think about it. Are you the exact same person now that you were in 2015? I know I'm not. And that's why I'm thankful to everyone who's stuck around and has continued to follow me for all these years. I probably lost like 35, 40,000 followers on like Instagram alone because of how much I changed. And in my opinion, if I had stayed the same and kept staying on the trajectory I was before, I would have became more depressed. Yeah, I probably would have more money and more famousness, but I wouldn't have. I decided to take the route of building my talents and strengthening my mental health. And that doesn't lead to internet content for strangers online sometimes. So I can relate with iDubbbz on this. It's like, yeah, I used to be this, and that, but real life happened. I had to grow up. And it's sometimes hard to accept that from other people when you only interact with them through videos that they make on the internet.
New, more politically charged community. But the department actually is more interested with some of the charitable works that Mr. Jama has actually decided to side with. Not
That's his last name? I thought that was Anissa's last name.
fully Creator Clash. Now, charity to me is a personally important thing. I think it's great to give back money to impoverished communities.
And that is the entire problem with the entire Creator Clash situation is that everybody thought more was going to charity than it was. Here we go. I know he's talking about me.
So one of the fights was said to be against Tyler Cassidy, also known as Froggy Fresh.
That's his real name? I also did not know bruh's real name.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. I'm Spider-Man then.
Of the Krispy Kreme fame, he made a bunch of songs on the internet. Guy's an old school OG YouTube.
So if you aren't on Twitter, you probably don't know that me and Froggy Fresh was beefing hard last year. It was actually really funny. Me and him was going back and forth with songs at each other. It was crazy. I think he saw the humor in it, and obviously I see the humor in everything, so I don't take anything seriously. But it got crazy, and the Sam Hyde goons. Oh my goodness.
Legend. Now, Froggy was supposed to be fighting Chris Raygun, and I want you to remember this fight because the controversy surrounding it might have been some of the most promotion this fight was getting for a while, and all of it was effectively for the wrong reasons. Now, something about fighting promotion and the community that watches these events is that it always centers around some form of drama or conflict.
I was actually a part of this situation that he's talking about, and he's got it spot on. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, a lot of the biggest bouts on YouTube, at least in this space, have basically resulted from beefs, a lot of them long withstanding, between creators to the point where having them bash each other's brains in for money, which, money at that point just
That should be the entire entertainment spectacle of it. And obviously, I've talked to iDubbbz on camera, on live streams, behind the scenes, that you guys are like, we don't want to have any smack talk, we don't want to have any drama. Then how are you trying to sell a fight then? Do you not understand that professional fights even have drama behind them? We're supposed to just all get up there and kiss and hug each other. Like, yes, that would be cool, but that's not how you sell a fight. So anyway,
takes a backseat. People love the thrill of just settling this online bullshit in a ring.
Yes.
The audience is excited for it. I'm
Yes.
sure the creators are excited for it. And if you get paid while you get to beat the shit out of the guy you absolutely have been beefing with for a while, all of it is a win-win. So originally, Creator Clash doesn't really have that ethos. It's first and foremost meant to be about treating boxing, the sport, with respect. And its safeguarding comes first.
The last thing I want to talk about is how serious the sport of boxing is. We've seen a lot of these influencer boxing events just pop up and, to be honest, not take the sport very seriously. And this last event, we saw guys headbutting each other. To
No.
avoid this shit at all costs, we're trying to get professional boxing coaches for all of our fighters.
And they actually did do that for me. So when they hit me up to do Creator Clash, I was at first just gonna train in Oakland. But they were like, we got a guy for you in LA who's a professional, former professional fighter, obviously my coach Quick. And that was one of the smartest decisions I ever had in my life. Did my coach charge me out the ass? Hell yeah, because he didn't know me. Okay, here we go.
Give them ample time to prepare. We're trying to prepare them mentally and physically for, what they're going to do, because people die in boxing. It's not a goofy thing. Oh, let's try our boxing. It's a serious thing.
Wow, yeah, that's actually such a good point. It acts
Did you okay, so say what you want about Chris Ray Gun, but he almost knocked me the out right there, okay?
actually believe that you weren't talking shit.
Okay, whoever got these highlights, you notice I never post these highlights on my page. I'm not gonna lie, Chris Ray Gun was piecing me up in this part.
If it wasn't for the fact that you put Chris Ray
Woo! He really got me. Ooh, like I really blocked all of that out. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be skipping that part when I be watching the fight.
Haynes clearly had a height and weight superiority against him.
Ooh.
If you really care about
So yeah, so the thing is about the height and weight, okay, here's what I really think the truth is about the height situation. I think that Chris Ray Gun lied about his height. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just not that tall. What the number one thing that people say when they recognize me in real life? You know what the number one thing people say to me when they recognize me for years is, I thought you would be taller. I don't know why people keep saying this to me. I understand I have a very booming personality, but I'm really not that tall. So I'm like, Chris Ray Gun, you are not 5'4". You are 5'3", or 2, because you have me looking like I'm way taller than you. But no, as for the weight, I definitely lost 13 pounds in the span of 2.5 weeks. I was drained. And I was unable. So what real professional fighters are able to do is gain 20 pounds in like a night. So you do the weigh-in the day before, and people like, Devin Haney, like so many people have a reputation of going down to the lower weight ranks, and overnight you're in a completely different weight class. I was not able to do that. If you've been watching my videos for a while, I have an issue with eating. I don't eat. Why you think I got six-pack abs? People are always like, how do you have six-pack abs? Because I don't be eating. So that night I was not like, all right, let me pack on all this food. And so no, we actually were about the same weight, very close. The fact that me and Chris Ray Gun can be about the same weight is crazy.
the sport of boxing, you probably wouldn't have haphazardly put this matchup last minute after kicking Froggy Fresh.
Woo!
Chris and he
And okay, here's also the thing that people don't understand about this situation is that I didn't know how to box. I know that it might look like that I knew what I was doing, but I really didn't. Like, all I had was clips of me on Instagram. Like, my sister taught me how to do the 1-2 on the pads, and then my brother one time was teaching me how to do like a combination on the pads. And then there's a bunch of clips of me terribly hitting the punching bag that I would never post right now because now I know how bad I was looking on the punching bag. I was definitely supposed to lose this fight. Chris Ray Gun was supposed to knock me the hell out. And when you watch iDubbbz watching back the fight on his live stream, even he admitted he thought that Chris Ray Gun was gonna, well, you had years to train and I had 2 weeks. So no, Chris Ray Gun really could have knocked me out.
A pretty shitty situation. So the big problem with promotion.
I will say here though, I think the difference is that his coach, Chris Ray Gun's coach, taught him that amateur style of boxing. And in boxing, the amateurs is, you know, like the championships that they have. You either wear red or you either wear blue. But how you win amateur fights is through scoring points. So, you know, you hit them once, you hit them twice, that's how you win. But in professional boxing, which is what Creator Clash is a lot closer to, you win by doing the most damage. So my coach was teaching me, here's how you do the most damage. Also, I only had one punch. I only had a jab. That was it.
Came from the fact that Creator Clash's individual creators actually didn't do a whole lot of promotion. We also
Oh yeah, this is so true. They told me not to promote the event.
had to pay for more fighters this year. The first year.
So when I got on the event, obviously there was all the controversy going on with Froggy Fresh and Sam Hyde, and they were like, "Oh, we're putting you on the website, I guess," but they're like, "We're not going to put you on all the social media because we don't want you to get bullied by Sam Hyde's people." And at the time, I was like, "All right, whatever. It's for charity. I'm doing whatever you guys are telling me to do." But no, these people are extremely anti-promote the event. And I love it though because when the event eventually did fail and Sam Hyde's goons were talking smack on me, they were like, "You couldn't promote this event." I was like, I had nothing to do with the promotion. Not selling tickets had nothing to do with me. I did exactly what they never let me sell it.
It was 18. This year it was 24. I thought bringing in more fighters would just lead to more pay-per-view buys, but I think it just ended up costing us more.
Yeah, Ian thought that just because he put in more fighters on the card that he tweeted out, that somehow that would correlate to more pay-per-view buys. Which again, it shows you that maybe he's just never gotten past the age of I don't know 12. But events always do get pirated, and also. You know, if you look into some of the promotional material, like if the actual individual fighters were promoting it, now I don't know if videos were removed or maybe like they a lot of negatives going towards it. But I wouldn't say that all these things happened externally. A lot of it could have been avoided generally if you had better planning at the top. Now, look, advertising was one problem, right? A big problem for Creator Clash 2.
Main
But
problem, in my
first time it
opinion.
felt that the event got a controversy, and it was in the shape of Froggy Fresh.
Goodness.
Fresh was that fighter at TCP who was supposed to go up against Chris Reagan. And that was until Froggy made this dastardly joke regarding signing to Anissa's OnlyFans if he actually had lost. And that
This dude is tripping though. Froggy Fresh was tripping.
ended up being
Look how creepy this video.
being removed from the event.
There seems to be substantial evidence that Chris Raygun is now on Adderall. Well, your man. Amphetamines couldn't save Hitler, and they can't save you either. On April 15th, if I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself
What you gonna do?
that I will subscribe to Anissa's home.
So out of nowhere, Froggy Fresh
Okay, so we got obviously me and Froggy Fresh got into it on Twitter because Ian wasn't trying to smack talk, and I got on there. I said something along the lines of like, "Keep my girl Nisa name out your mouth." It was crazy. But here's the thing about the Froggy Fresh situation. Where I'm from, you don't talk about nobody's girl. If you go and talk about somebody's girl, especially in like a sexual way, that's asking for you to get shot. But that's where I'm from. I know y'all from Canada or y'all from you know. I mean, he from down south. He sound like he from. I'm Froggy Fresh. Can't tell me I didn't just do him perfectly. I don't know where the hell he from, but I bet they're talking like that down there too. So yeah, he took this one a little bit too far. Don't talk about my girl because if he had talked about my girl, he probably would have got his ass whooped. So just getting take off the event is enough.
ends up being removed for his recent behavior. Now, a lot of these deleted tweets, and there's archives and screenshots that exist, but I wanted to tell you that they were deleted because I don't have them right here to review fresh on Twitter, which, you know, again, I just want you to know.
Go through my Twitter, bro.
But there has been a change in the lineup, and Froggy Fresh will no longer be fighting against Chris Reagan. We'll announce his replacement in the coming days. With just 3 weeks left, the countdown to Creator Clash 2 has begun. So, yeah, they were going to issue...
I was
his
definitely supposed to lose that fight.
fighter lineup that close to the actual fight night. Creator Clash's goal is to make an inclusive and fun environment for creators and fans while giving back to charity.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like my thing about it. So Ian and Anissa made this big deal about we don't want any trash talking, we don't want any negativity to be a part of our event. And yet, uh all the negativity and drama and trash talking came tenfold. You would have had so much less negativity and trash talking if you had allowed the negativity and trash talking to begin with. But anyway, hindsight is 2020. I'm so glad YouTube has transcripts.
Froggy was kicked off, short to say it did spark controversy. They replaced him with a William Haynes, who, let's be honest, was a severe mismatch for Chris Raygun, not to throw
Shout out to him for knowing my name, though. I did not know some ordinary gamer knew my name. Either he knew my name or he did his research on this video and actually said it. So, hey, shout out to him. That's tight. I actually watched this dude.
shade or anything. It's just one of these decisions you have to look for, because if you really
As he puts a clip of Chris Ray Gun clocking me right on the chin.
care about the spirit of boxing, you would do a lot better of a job matching up people properly so that it just doesn't look like such a mismanaged event down the road. So, one thing I found interesting this time for Creator Clash was two pieces of information that just caught my attention. So, during this controversy, according to Froggy Fresh and some of the fighters who allegedly came out and stated that there was actually a purse. So, money that would be set aside that you would get for the purposes of paying for your food and your training. And that there's
So yes, this is true, and this is why iDubbbz was wrong about thinking that adding on more fighters would bring in more money. Because yes, I did get paid for the event. And like I said, so I only was a part of Creator Class for 2 or 3 weeks before the event, and I'm telling you, I spent every dime of that purse in that time span. So to me, I'm like, man, blowing that money on the things that I needed in 2 weeks was crazy. That was a perfect amount of money for that time. But for all the other fighters that had like a year and a half of that much training budget, I'm like, dang it. It really didn't do much for you. But no, like I said, my coach, I paid him like $5,000. I had to stay in a motel, which was only like a few blocks away from the gym that I was training at. So yeah, they really uprooted my life and gave me the perfect amount of money to last that amount of time. Yeah, I don't think Ian and Anissa's math was mathing on that one. Uh, they just was doing what they wanted to do.
was supposedly, according to Froggy Fresh, a portion of ticket sales that would actually end up going to the fighters.
Ah, yes. So this is the part that I was misled about. So obviously they were like, we want you to be in Creator Clash 2, and it's in 2.5 weeks, and we know you don't have any real boxing trainer, and the other guy has been training for a long time. I originally didn't want to do it, and I was super on the fence about it. But Alana reached out to me, and Jarvis reached out to me, and even my own brother. My brother was like, "Don't do it." He was like, He's like, "You're gonna embarrass yourself. Don't do it." So I was really like, when they were talking to me, I gave them like 24 hours, and I was like, I don't think I really want to do it. But they really were like, please do it. We really would do it. And when they could see I was on the fence, they were like, oh well, she told me, she was like, we're projected to sell twice as many as we did last time. So she pretty much was telling me that she was about to sell 200 ppvs, and that, yeah, and then this part of the money was a part of it, and obviously can't say no to that. And but obviously that did not end up happening, and that's totally fine. Like I said, I got so much out of Creator Clash, I'm not even tripping about that. My issue with it is that they never told me. I literally had to find out from other people. I'm like, it says in the contract that the money was supposed to be here in 45 days. It's been 46 days. Where is it? And somebody told me, I will leave them nameless, but they were like, wait, they didn't tell you? Like, nobody's getting paid. I was like, no, that's crazy. So the rumors about there being no communication is true.
Which, again, this was a charity event.
Elena Pierce is
Look how thick this dude is. So me and Froggy Fresh was gonna fight, but he was insisting that me and him fight like in a cage style UFC. I ain't letting you kick me in the face, dude. Are you kidding me? I'm boxing only. It's hands only when it comes to me. I don't want no guns. I don't want no kicking. It's hands. We got to settle it with this right here and this right here. Unless it's a real fight, then I will knee you in the rib cage. But in a good fair fight, it's got to be hands only.
Republic saying that I'm taking money off the table for charity. Okay? The money I used to train was an advance on my purse. Had nothing to do with the charity organizations.
And like I'm saying, I spent that in about 2.5, 3 weeks on stuff, and I didn't even get certain things like all the other fighters like paid for these outfits. Like I said, I wore my sister's shorts. And I was supposed to buy a custom mouth guard for like, I don't know, $300 or $400 or something like that. But it was so close to the event, we couldn't get it molded in time. So I'm telling you, the event is expensive. You can't just walk into a boxing match for free. So I do think that it makes sense to give people training money. Like, unless you already have all that stuff going, that money is not going straight to your pocket, or at least very little of it is.
All the fighters are receiving a purse to fight. That money was an advance on that purse. It was coming out of my purse.
Why is he even still talking about it after he got kicked out?
Donate.
All right, I'm bored of these fools. That's life. So in conclusion, sometimes in life, people might be trying to do the right thing, trying their very hardest to do what they think will make the world a better place. But if you don't count your numbers, you won't end up helping anybody. If you're not realistic about your approach to life, if you're not realistic about your approach to business, if you let your ego drive your decisions, you won't be able to reach those dreams as quickly or as efficiently as you were hoping to do. So I'm asking you, when you want to do something good in your life, when you want to do anything at all, I'm asking you to please take a deep breath in and think. Don't think with your ego. Don't think with your pain. Think with your courage. Think with your determination. And most importantly, leave a like on me and subscribe to me. This has been another episode of Truly Passionate. I'm your host, William Haynes.